Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Chibits. We gained 1,000 Chibits in like a week. Oh my god. I never thought I would see a day something like this. Just, it's unimaginable. It's unimaginable how our community continues to grow. It makes me so fucking happy. It really does. Honestly, you guys are fucking amazing. You really are. You guys are all fantastic, badasses. I don't know what other words or compliments I could say to you. You're marvelous. You all are wonderful. You are. Thank you, Chibits. Thank you for being there for me and everybody else. It means so much, and thank you. I love all of you so much. Thank you for 8,000 Chibits. This community continues to grow. Our community continues to grow. And everybody, today I want to celebrate this moment with another 10 facts with Chibi. Number 1. I'm shy about anime. If you did not know, actually in real life, I never talk about anime or manga. For instance, if I was to, let's say, go to high school, let's say if I was back into high school again, I would not talk about anime, manga, or anything like that. I would just act like I knew nothing about it because I was just shy to talk about it since majority of society looks down on anime fans. It says they're childish and stuff like that. So when I was actually in high school and other places in real life, I never talked about anime or manga. I acted like it didn't exist to me, which is kind of upsetting if you think about it, but it was just because I was just shy inside. So that's a little bit of information if you did not know. I technically hide my inner self when it comes to anime and manga in real life, so I'm glad to get to talk to all of you and actually express my true self with all of you. Number 2, I am the youngest out of one brother and one sister. I am the youngest child. I am 19, and at the same time, I have an older brother and an older sister. They're both way older than me, so technically, I am the youngest out of all my siblings, and so I've always been that type of, child in the family that says, like, oh, you're the youngest and stuff. So if you did not know that, yeah, I have siblings. I have fellow siblings, but sadly enough, they're not into anime, and they really don't know anything about this hobby of mine, as you see behind me. If they were to know, they'd probably freak out. So anyways, number 3. My favorite game series. If you cannot read that, it's all the individual Halo games that have been released on CD form. These are my favorite games, and this is the stuff I actually love so much. This is what I played when I was a child in 2001. I remember actually playing this. Let's see, which one version was it? I actually bought these. These were the first games I really technically owned on Xbox. These are the original copies I had back in 2001. So these have a lot of memory and nostalgia to me. These two games right here, Halo 1, had the Platinum Edition. As you can see, the case had a sticker to it, which is, yeah. I was young, couldn't keep care of, cases, but I mean, this one's a lot better condition since it's the Game of Year edition. Looks really good. I mean, everything's intact. The booklets are all there. I mean, I have a lot of memories with Halo. I mean, I have all the individual games, as you can see. I have, like, Halo 2's Limited Collector's Edition and all that. I have, the Halo 2 multiplayer map pack, Halo 3, Halo Wars, Halo 3 ODST, Reach, Halo 4. I have, the Halo 1 Anniversary Collection. So, overall, I'm a big Halo fan, and this is one of my favorite games to play on my pastime besides Blizzard-type games like World of Warcraft or Diablo or StarCraft. So, anyways, moving on to number 4. Number 4, I used to own a demon cat. Now, yes, this cat I used to own when I was 10 to 12 was a fucking demon. It was when I was living in Florida. This cat, we sadly had to give up since we were moving from Florida to Tennessee, where I'm currently at now. So we had to give away the cat. But this cat was a fucking demon. I have never seen a cat be such a freaking demon. The name of the cat was called Shelby, and at the same time, this cat, the reason why I called it a demon cat was because it literally chased bulldogs off our yard down the street in Florida. Yes, I'm not joking. Big ass bulldogs would actually come, and probably eat cats. This little freaking tabby cat, or whatever you want to call it, a female cat, scared off fucking bulldogs all the time and ran them off and scratched on their face. And this cat survived being inside of the mouth of 2 different bulldogs and she crawled her way out of their mouth. So yeah, that's a fucking demon cat. So I'm just gonna say right now, that's number 4. So anyways, moving on to number 5. Number 5, my favorite book series besides actually watching anime or reading manga is the Harry Potter series. It was the first ever major book series I ever read when I was growing up, and I had a lot of enjoyment value out of that book series when I first began to read it. I think I started reading the Harry Potter book series when it was on book 4, and I could not get enough of it. I think I started the series when I was like in 5th grade, and I loved it. I loved Harry Potter so much back in the day, and it's definitely one of my favorite book series to date besides the Inheritance Cycle, the Aragon trilogy, the dragons and stuff. Those are my favorite book series, and I loved Harry Potter growing up. So I recommend Harry Potter's book series if you've never read it, because it's a really badass read and I enjoyed it. And so, yeah, moving on to number 6. Number 6. There was a certain individual limited collector's edition game I picked up in GameStop a long time ago, I think a couple years back, and to this day, that game I picked up is probably one of my favorite RPGs I have ever played on the Xbox 360. It would be Record of Agarstore. Now, as you can probably see from this cover, imagine picking this up at GameStop, and it's not covered. Just imagine picking this up, okay? And, you know, it says the really naughty limited edition. It has, you know, very perverted type provocative cover on it. And imagine being like under 18, picking up this. Imagine what the GameStop employees look like when they see you picking this up as a child. They'd probably think this is a hentai or a porno or something, but it's really not. Honestly, the cover of this is misleading. Really, Record of Agarstore's cover art is just misleading. It's just like a turn-based RPG game. I don't know if you can make out those pictures really well, but it's a turn-based RPG, really fucking badass. It has 5 generations, and your, like, character progresses through generations, kind of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I really recommend this series if you've ever yet to play Record of Agarstore. It's such a badass fucking game, but I remember the memories of embarrassment when I had to pick this up. I was like, oh! So yeah, that's a little information if you did not know about that, because I know some people have a lot of problems picking up, like, say, manga, or, let's say, body pillows or something from a store, but I had that exact same embarrassment when I picked this up from GameStop. Number 7, when I was very young, and I still have yet to discover anime, I discovered something in a little pawn shop. Now, when I was in Florida, my dad was actually working in a pawn shop, and he was one of the main people at the cash register watching over all the goods and selling the stuff in the pawn shop. Well, I was wandering the store one day, and I discovered this. Now, if you've yet to recognize this, this is Dragon Ball Z. Now, these 2 tapes right here, okay, were the actual original 2 tapes that actually began my journey into the anime industry. I'm not joking. These are the actual original tapes I first ever got of Dragon Ball Z, the first 2 starters that began this entire course of my collection. So these 2 tapes right here have a lot of memory. I found and discovered these in the pawn shop. I was like, ooh, this looks cool. Looks like a cartoon and all that. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, ooh, this is a cool looking cartoon. I looked at the cover. I liked the, the entire look of the backs and all that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm definitely going to buy this. So I got it. Well, I didn't buy it technically. I asked my dad to buy it. My dad bought it for me. I got it, took it home, watched it. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And so the next day I went back to buy the Saiyans. Oh yeah, you guys can't see. I have the Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, and all that in VHS. I bought the box sets. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And then that was when my anime journey began. Number 8. My favorite cartoon besides anime would have to be Courage the Cowardly Dog. There is nothing better than watching
Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
Anyone remember that episode? That was one of my favorite episodes from Courage the Cowardly Dog, or Cat's Motel. Those were fucking creepy. Honestly, Courage the Cowardly Dog is one of the scariest cartoons I was watching when I was really young. It gave me so many fucking nightmares, it really did. But it was such a series that I enjoyed growing up with, and it was something I know for a fact to this day and time would never fly in this day and age of cartoons, because that's how violent it was, how mature that series was. I mean, that series is just so freaking dark, and I love Courage the Cowardly Dog. If you have never watched that cartoon, you're missing out a lot in your childhood or your adulthood, wherever you are in your life, because Courage the Cowardly Dog is one of the best series of cartoons I have ever seen. I've drunk coffee since I was 9 years old. Holy shit, time for another pot of coffee. And last but not least, number 10, a box of secrets that you'll never know about. This has a bunch of secrets in it. I don't know what's in it. It can have the souls of my fellow anime victims. It can have, the keys to a death note. We don't know what's in this box, but this is number 10 of the facts of Chibi. So what is in this box? Leave your comments below, and maybe one day you might find out what's inside. So anyways, everybody, thank you so much for the continued support in our community. It means so much to me, and I love all of you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being badasses, being there for me, making me feel so happy, and being my second family. I've never been this happy in my entire life, and I love our community. I really do. Every person right now that's currently watching this video, give yourself a hug, give yourself a clap on the back, smile, be happy, or whatever it is you usually do to have satisfaction for yourself. Please be happy, because you all make me happy. And you just all have given me such a better life now that I met all of you and been able to share my experiences with anime with all of you. So you all have a wonderful day, night, wherever you live. Please be safe, and everybody, Chibi out.